What is up, gangsters, one and all? Welcome to the Mad Poet Show, the Mad Poet Society. I am the Mad Poet. You are the society. We are a group of people who are doing stuff. Hope everyone's having a great day. We got people coming in. We got Obscure Mysticism Cults. Welcome, Friday Hails. Hope all is well with you. Also, Doc, of course, the suspense is pulling down his pants and making cornrows. Xena Queen, good to see you again. Wooden Tank, powerful start. Thank you. It's always good to get off to a good start in your show. I've had a few very, very challenging starts. Ice Melters. Just tipped $10. Thank you for your support. Thank you very much. Xena, you're on Twitch as well. Thank you very much for being in both places. I know I've got a lot of people who kind of flip back and forth. I've had a few people say that the video quality is often not as good on Twitch, but the chat is much better. Some people prefer YouTube. That's why I do multiple places. So, Paul, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Love this one. Great beat. You know, that one, the beat on that one is actually kind of interesting. I wrote that in a straight time beat for the most part, and then I kind of wanted this triplet feel, this kind of a feel. And so I just kind of went, okay, where can I put my triplets in between the beats that I've got there? And it worked out pretty well. I was pretty pleased with the way that came out. That song is actually dedicated to my awesome daughter, who is busy at work right now. I believe she's listening in, but she's not going to be able to participate in chat because she's a grown-up and has to do stupid grown-up stuff. You can kind of blame me for that. Sorry, that's, you know, when we decided to have a kid, decided. Yeah, that first song was called The 11th Commandment. And for those of you who are not aware, the 11th Commandment is, don't get caught. It's really the most important one. All right, so this album is actually my most recent. It's called In This Fashion. This is my 64th album. When we get done here, we're going to be jumping back to my 7th album. And that one's called Parentheticals. We're going to be playing that as well today. Duncan, thanks for the tip. I'm trying to figure out what Doc is getting at on this one. Okay, gotcha. All right. I just decided which albums to play last night, so I just grabbed two that already had light shows ready. I counted them up. I've got 15 albums that have light shows that are ready to go that I can play at any time, and I am still working toward having additional albums set up, so slowly getting that worked on. Doc's got to run. Have a great show. Have a great day. Thanks. Drive safe on your way to build airplanes that you want to be unsafe, because I know that you're a mean person like that. Doc actually does very good work. He and I work together at I'm going to allow the company to remain anonymous because I'm just kind of like that, but it's one of the companies that builds large passenger and cargo aircraft in West Washington. So we used to work there, and I can quantify that he does in fact do very good work. But he likes to act mean. So do I. It's fun. All right, let's quit acting mean. Look at me being all mean over here. I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit on my end, crank into this a little bit more. It shouldn't affect your volume at all. This next song is called Have I Forgotten Something? Alrighty then, welcome back. Well, I guess we're still back here. I don't know what's going on. Anyone who's just coming in, you should be aware that I, as the Mad Poet, generally do not know what's going on. Because that is what I do. And I hope that you do as well. But I am the Mad Poet. For anyone who's just coming in, we are doing a show. I'm playing guitar, we're making music. I'm the Mad Poet, you are an audience, we are the Mad Poet Society. Sometimes I say these things differently, sometimes it's like it's a script. Alright, so we're playing my 64th album. I forget what that last song was called already. Doesn't matter, because we're moving on to the next one. What are we getting into here? Looks like we've got some C minor going on. 117 beats a minute. I feel like I should be saying something about this song, but don't know what it is, so let's just play it and we'll find out what happens. The song is called Talk to Me. got coming up here? Nobody knows. Ooh, the Devil's Masquerade is coming up next. This one is kind of an upbeat, driving little piece. Nothing special going on with this. I think it's kind of normal type of stuff. Just checking my various chat areas. I'm getting better at looking for my. I got these 5 channels that I stream to: Nemo, Nono Live, Africa TV, Vaughn Live, and Picardo that don't show up in my normal chat. So I've been working on, I've got them all set up so I've got a window I can just pop up. And I don't think I typically get any or many people watching in those channels, but you know, they're there if people want them. If someone discovers me on that, that's great. Well, let's play some music, get into some kind of standard hard rock, E minor type of stuff. 143 beats a minute or thereabouts. This is called The Devil's Masquerade. Fun. You know what I like? I like playing guitar. You know what else I like? I like eating pizza. I'm gonna do both of those things today. I haven't had pizza for 8 hours. It's been a while. I'm due. I've also got, last night Sarah texted me, she's like, can we, put we in quotes, can we make some chocolate chip cookies tonight? I'm like, let's do it. So I made chocolate, so that means I got chocolate chip cookies sitting upstairs as well. So that's also going to happen. Pizza, cookies, pretty girl in the house, guitars. My life is not bad. My life is not bad. I am not, as the next song would indicate, going down with the ship. Here we are. Water. I love water. Zena asks, do you think I'll do another baking or cooking stream? Yes, I probably will. I've gotten a really good response from those. People seem to really like them. I've had quite a few good comments and people asking if I would do more. So yeah, most likely. I was thinking maybe on my next one I would do a deep dish pizza, Chicago style. My first one was a thin crust, kind of New York style pizza. And then I did the chocolate chip cookies. So yeah, I would probably do another cooking stream. They're fun. I like getting out there with the slide guitar when I got a sit down moment in the kitchen. And I was thinking I might even do. Last time I called it Blues Kitchen. I was thinking I might kind of get some of my classical chops to do a classical kitchen, do some classical guitar in there in between things. So there's some possibilities there. Yeah, I do enjoy the alternate streams. For quite a while, I was doing regular Thursday night streams where I was composing and working on new music, and that's kind of gone by the wayside. So I don't know, something like that could get back into play. And I've also, it's been a very long time since I've done a rope jumping stream. I don't know if anyone who's currently watching it saw any of those. This was probably a year ago. Therese, who's a regular in our chat, I don't think she's in today, she had asked about my very first album. Now, I've known her for 50,000 years or so, and she was asking if I would ever play Confusion, my very first album, in these streams. And unfortunately, the answer is no. That album was done in a very different way. It's the only album that I recorded in someone else's studio. It was on different software, different hardware. It would be really, really tough to pull off for the way that I do shows. And so what I did is I just put that album in and I played it, as not on guitar, just let the audio go. And then I just sat and jumped rope through the whole thing, which is like 46 minutes. And people like that. So then I think a couple of weeks later, I did another one where I played again, just the audio played of my 13th album, which is my longest, which is, I think it's like 73, 74 minutes. So basically an hour and a quarter of nonstop rope jumping. So yeah, I think it'd be fun to do some more of those. People kind of got a kick out of that. So there are definitely some possibilities for alternate types of Randolph the Mad Poet streams. We'll see what comes up with that. I enjoy all of it. I'm a performer by nature, which is also interesting because I am a massive introvert by nature. Massive introvert. It's like I love just not interacting with people. We live out, like I've described it before, we don't live in the middle of nowhere, but we're within walking distance. Yeah, it's great. People don't ask me to come for Thanksgiving anymore or Christmas, and I'm like, good, because I don't want to. I just want to sit here, play guitar, and do my thing, and be left alone. As I've said, do not walk before me, for I may not follow. Do not walk behind me, for I may not lead. Don't walk beside me either, just leave me alone. That's Randolph the Mad Poet right there. I believe the Albert Camus original quote was a little different at the end, but Albert Camus is dead. So that's his problem. All right, we're going to slow it down a little bit here, getting some B minor. Hopefully my clean tone guitar will come on automatically. We'll see what happens with that. This piece, 91 beats a minute or thereabouts, B minor. This is called Molten Ice. Looks like that should be working. Oh, I had my guitar set up for the clean tone to be a different input. All right, Molten Ice. Speaking of which, let's hydrate. All right, let's try this again, shall we, kids? Now we're going to pick it back up a little bit because, yeah, that's kind of what I do. I've got a couple albums that kind of all the way through are just made to be kind of low pace. My 28th album it's kind of a low medium pace thing. It's mostly more kind of clean tone guitar acoustic. It doesn't have nearly as much distortion on it. That's called Solemn Tales of Baleful Beasts. I think I've only played that one once, maybe twice, live. Excuse me. And then my 53rd album, 52nd, 51st, so, no, 50, it was my 53rd album is called Someone Else's Memories. And that's a much slower, kind of a more ambient type. And that's one I've been kind of wanting to get a light show together for and play for a while. It's got some very pleasant stuff on it. And so yeah, I've never played that one live. So we'll see what happens with that. But generally speaking, in these albums, I'll put in a song or two or maybe three kind of lower paced things like that. But then I usually pick it right back up and get it cranked, because that's what I like. That's what I like to do. I really like that upbeat stuff. But I've always found myself kind of getting bored with an album when it's just always the same. You know, there are albums out there. It's like they come out 100% and they just stay at 100%. It's like, you know, we're gonna slow down a little bit, speed up, kind of have some ebb and flow, some waxing and waning of your music as it goes along. I like that. More story that way. This, we're gonna pick it back up a bit. Kind of got a little bluesy motif going in this one. This is called Epiphanic Moment. epiphanic moment. I think we're going to get some more smoke going here. That's the epiphany I've just had. I know, crazy, the stuff that I think of. More water, more water. Oh, I like water. All right. Okay, that's what I got to do on the next one. This is called Take the Next Step. Atlas Kai tuning in on YouTube. Thanks for being here. I'm glad I am helping you pass the day at work. Hopefully you're not passing the time watching Twitch and also driving a forklift or running a tractor or something like that. I'm hoping that everyone is doing this, at appropriate times, but I'm sure that you are. So welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. In case you're just coming in, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. And this is what we do. Just kind of checking all my chat stuff here. Looks like there are actually some people watching on Nemo TV. Hello from Nemo TV. I don't see any chat messages, but I see some people in there, so welcome. If I happen to miss anybody in any chat, that is an oversight on my part. It's never intentional. My multi-chat thing is kind of... I'm noticing that my Africa TV channel is saying that the stream stopped, so I just fired that back up. Yeah, life, it's what we do. But yes, we play rock music. We make people's workday easier. And sometimes we make pizza on stream. Because pizza, baby. Because guitars and pizza, that's what happens. And there's another thing that happens that people are often very fond of. And it's about to happen. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. This song is called The Seeds of Discord. Looks like Wooden Tank has got to cut it short. Wooden Tank, it was good to see you in chat today. Thanks so much for stopping in. Always a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And Atlas Kai, I totally should have recognized that username as being Deirdre. Deirdre and I have been friends for quite a long time. In fact, she is the first fan of mine to become a student of mine. She saw me in a show doing classical guitar, and came up and asked me some questions about it later, and found out that I teach, and we've been friends for a very long time since then. And she also, I have to brag about her, because she also swims with sharks. And that is not a joke. That is absolutely true. She's studying to be a marine biologist, and she has literally gone out swimming with sharks, and that is really awesome. So, there you go. Yes. We are doing Mad Poet stuff, because that's what we do. Let's see, we're moving into the last song of this album. So for anyone who's just coming in, I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience, we are the Mad Poet Society. I'll be playing 2 albums today. I'm just finishing up the first of those 2. This is actually the 64th album that I released. This is called In This Fashion. And I just want to play one more song, and then I'm going to switch albums, which hopefully I'm getting a little smoother at the switching of albums. So hopefully that will go well. This is one of my songs I've mentioned, particularly when I played my 55th album, The Patron Saint of Murderers. I mentioned, particularly on that title track, how much I like harpsichord. This song has got a bit of harpsichord in it, and I originally wrote it, this little harpsichord bit that you hear right at the beginning, and it kind of comes up a few places throughout. I wrote that to be played on an acoustic guitar, and I just didn't have time to get to the actual acoustic guitar recording, but it was real easy just to put it on a harpsichord sampler, because I don't have access to an actual freaking harpsichord, and I couldn't play it worth a darn if I wanted to. So I just threw this onto a harpsichord sample, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what it was meant to be. That's and I'm just gonna throw my picks all over the place. That's okay, I've got another one. I've got like 200 of them sitting over here. I'm noticing this album has, feels like it's got quite a lot of E Phrygian in it. And we're gonna finish it up like that as well. Atlas Kai says it was awesome. I'm not sure if she's talking about the concert where she first saw me, or if she's talking about swimming with the sharks, but I'm guessing that those are both awesome. And this final song of the album is called The Beast Has Arrived. Teresa's here. Zena says, Rad Riffs, thank you for the good time as always. And thank you for being part of the good time as always. You have become a very reliable, regular viewer of my streams, and I definitely appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Teresa's in says, one of my favorite albums and songs. Love the harpsichord. It's so King Diamond. That is such a huge compliment. I love me some King Diamond, Merciful Fate. Ah, good stuff. Okay, let's see what I can. Oh, that's gonna. Sibelius is the program that I use for my notation, and it's a bully of a program. It doesn't like to cooperate with other programs, so I kind of got to force it to. And right now, it's being a little bit of a jerk. So it's gonna do it's gonna around for a moment, but I should be able to bring that into check pretty quickly here. Hopefully. We shall see. Hopefully everything will actually work out. There have been a few times that it doesn't work at all. Excuse me. Pardon me. Okay, let's see what this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to show this thing a thing or two here. Okay. This hopefully won't take too long to do. I have a feeling my Sibelius Reaper team are going to fight for a moment. I'm going to be back with you in just a moment, and then we are going to be playing Parentheticals. I'm going to throw the album cover up there for you. And we'll see what happens with all of this. Hopefully I will be back within a moment. All right, gangsters, we're back. I got a cookie. We got stuff. What's going on here? Rock and roll. Let me get the sheet music open. Parentheticals live. Okay. Got my windows in order here. Looks like things might be working. I like it when things might be working. I also like it when things are definitely working. So, there's two aspects of that. I'm going to talk a little bit about my buddy John here. Because if it were not for my buddy John, and I don't know if John is on today, I just let him know this morning that I'd be playing this album today. And so kind of short notice, but I just decided midnight last night that I'd actually be doing this. But John is the reason that we're here. He's the reason I did all of these albums. He dared me. I was doing a series of shows at a local coffee shop, small little coffee shop some people may have heard called Starbucks. And I was just going in every other week, and I was just playing some light acoustic stuff in the background. And then one day, John dares me to sing a Taylor Swift song. Now, keep in mind, I'm not much of a singer. And it's something I'm working on. I will definitely never sing in the style of King Diamond. That is not my voice. But I love singing. I'm not great at it. But I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Pick out a song. So he picked out Teardrops on my guitar. I modified it to be more of a metal thing. I brought in my computer to be able to play it the way I wanted to. And just that dare set off this whole series of songs, albums, and led us to where we are now with 64 albums and, published, and one almost ready to go, 4 or 5 more composed. I love music. It's a beautiful thing. So this song I dedicated to John because he's just a great guy. Get these bright lights out of my face. Cool Randy's back. All right. So this song going out for my man John off the album Parentheticals, which was my 7th album. This song is called The First Excursus. Page X05, welcome to the chat. Thanks for stopping in. Got Paige coming to us on Twitch. And when I first saw your comment there, I thought it said slay the king. And I'm like, yes, always slay the king. That's a good policy. Actually, last week I played my 21st album. It's titled An Innocent Assassin. And there's a song on there. I love the song title. It's called 18 Iron Chains to Bind the Wicked King. That's a fun song. It's an interesting song too, because it has the intro section, which comes up a few times in the song. It's a repeating section, and it's in 7/4 rather than 4/4. So it's an interesting kind of groove to open that song with. We're not going to be playing that song today because I do not have that album set up. We are playing my 7th album currently, which is called Parentheticals. And this song is called, I feel like something has gone wrong with this song almost every time I've done it live. So I always get a little bit on edge as this song is coming up. Let's see what happens here. The song is called But I Digress. Gaiden X. Welcome to the chat. I hope that I always say everybody's usernames correctly. There are a lot of them that are tough to pronounce at times. But welcome one, welcome all. Thank you for being here. I'm the Mad Poet. Gaiden, you really like that one. Great. I'm glad you do. That's, it's always a very interesting thing for me because I have done a lot of music, 64 full-length albums, an EP, a few small soundtracks. And there's definitely a variety going on there. And I have some pieces that I think I did not do well. I have some pieces I feel that I've done very well. And it's just whenever someone's like, hey, I really like that piece of music, whether it's one that I like or not, it's just like, that's cool that someone out there has gotten something out of something that I've done. It's a very good feeling. So, no, I have not been offline. That's interesting. I have been doing 2 shows every Friday, and recently I started bumping them up from about an hour and a quarter to about 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm doing 2 albums each time, so I'm not sure why I would not be popping up in your notifications. That seems odd. I have been on very regularly, and I've done also a few Wednesdays. I've done a couple of cooking streams where I made made a pizza, this kind of pizza, and also made some chocolate chip cookies a couple of weeks ago, and did some kind of slide blues guitar in with those kitchen streams. So it's unfortunate that you've not been getting that. You may want to ensure that you have hit the follow button on there. If somehow maybe you got unfollowed or something. I don't ever go in and kick people out. So if you are somehow unfollowed, I don't know how that would happen either. But yeah, every Friday at noon and 8 o'clock Pacific time, I should be on. And hopefully that will help. And it's always good to see you, as with everyone. So yeah, good stuff. Real Alien Space Bats. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while either. Welcome in. Great to have you here. Have I seen you recently? Sometimes it's hard to remember. Nonetheless, whether I've seen you recently or seen you ages ago, welcome back. It's good to have you. Always nice to see people in chat. Okay, it has been a while then. Yeah, I've kind of rearranged how things have been set up back here. And I do have, I blacked out that back wall with some boards. And I've got some more boards that I'm going to be putting up along the sides. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but it definitely will happen. And so we'll just kind of see where things go. I've also made a significant amount of progress over the last couple weeks on my 65th album. I've been really frustrated with the production of the album. There are things that I want to get right that I've never gotten right in production. And I've reached out to, I think like 14 different audio engineers and just don't ever hear back from them. It's kind of frustrating. No, it's really frustrating. I was right the first time. But I've started just being much more aggressive with my engineering, and I'm suddenly getting the sounds I want. So that album could be coming out soon, and we'll see where things go. Yeah, Deirdre, I think you would enjoy the cooking shows. I think they are your style. I think you would get a real kick out of it. They're pretty fun. They're typically kind of short, like a half hour, 45 minutes, because I'm just making one quick little dish and playing a little guitar. My kitchen, fortunately, is really good for it. The kitchen in this new place that Sarah and I got is great for setting up for doing cooking videos or cooking streams. So, pretty fun stuff. Anyway, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming in. We're having just a fun little show today. A little while ago, we finished playing my 64th album called In This Fashion. And we just loaded up into the first couple of songs off of my 7th album, which is called Parenthetical. So we're going to continue on here. We're going to hit a little G minor action here. This is called Contentless Cognition. And even though I practiced this, just like 12 hours ago, I don't know what this song sounds like. So let's see what happens here. Let's see, Real Alien Space Bat says, I won't lie, anytime I'm feeling complacent, your work ethic and creative drive inspire me to get back in. You know what? That's freaking awesome. I love being an inspiration to people. That makes me feel so good. I think it's something that as people we should strive to inspire others with whatever it is that we do, whether that be, working in an office or doing sculptures or exercise or art or whatever kind of creative or non-creative endeavor you're doing. If you're out building sheds in people's backyards, make it inspiring. So, thank you. Let's play this next piece. See what the Mad Poet comes up with, since I don't know what this is supposed to sound like. This is called Contentless Cognition. right. Oh, what do we got going on here? This next, so just a moment ago, a few moments ago, I was talking about how, it's great when people tell me they like a particular song. And I said, I've got songs of my own that I like more than others. Certainly there is a least favorite song of my own. It's not this next one. My least favorite song, the song that I feel I did the worst work on, is called The Battle Hymn of the Fallen Warrior. It's one of my best song titles, for sure. But I feel I did a very bad job on that song. And that's off of like my 12th or 13th album. This next song, it's definitely in the lower part of my list. And it's always interesting to me too that I have a very interesting thing. I don't have a ton of followers on any particular avenue of putting things out. I have a ton of followers on YouTube or on Twitch, and I'm kind of a small creator, and that's fine. But I have never had a thumbs down on YouTube, ever, which is very interesting. And because sometimes musicians are very rough on each other. And even on the songs that I don't like, I've had some people give very good comments. And that's why if I feel that a song is not up to snuff, I'll still put it out on the album. I'll be like, okay, you know what? Because someone else might be into this. Even if it's not my thing, it doesn't have to be my thing. Because once I put it out there, the question is it your thing? And so, I'm not a big fan of this next song. But, you guys might like it better. And Deirdre says, that one was awesome. Thank you. That's kind of like I said, I didn't know where I was going to go with that when I started playing it. And so I just started playing. And I'll probably play something completely different next time I play it because I'm an improv kind of guy. Let's get some more smoke going and see what you guys think of this next piece. This is called Infelicitous Results. It is an energetic song, I'm going to grant you that. And I'm glad you like it. That's super cool. And Alien Space Bat's got something to say here. While it's so hard for me to remember myself, I think it's true that a creative's job is to simply create. I like that. It's everyone else's job to assign value to it. Completely true. We can't beat our minds up deciding what's good or bad on our own. Totally accurate. I completely agree with this. And my awesome Sarita V has just entered the chat. Welcome, my lady. Great to have you here. I will see you as soon as the show's over. I want to talk about this. This is a really important statement that Real Alien Space Bats just made. I want to talk about a pottery class. A few people in my chat may have, Deirdre's probably heard this before. I know Sarah's heard this story. But this is what I've talked to a lot of my students about. And so I've never taken a pottery class. I've read about this particular pottery class, and this is part of why I do things the way I do. So in this pottery class, this teacher had been giving this same class for a very long time. And this new semester or class starts, whatever, well, I'm not sure where it was at, some community college, probably. So it says, this class I'm going to grade differently than I ever have before. I'm going to split the class down the middle. Everyone on this side, you're going to be graded on quality. You're going to make one piece of pottery, and you're going to try to perfect it over the course of the entire class, however many months, 3 months or whatever. One piece of pottery. Make it as the best you possibly can. On this side of the class, you're going to be graded on quantity. You're going to make as much pottery as you can. You're going to be graded by weight. How much your pottery weighs at the end of the class. Now, the thing that made the experiment interesting was at the end of this class, they graded everything based on quality. And where it gets really interesting is that all of the best quality pieces of work came out of the quantity half of the class, not out of the quality half of the class. And the reason is very simple. The more you do something, the better you get at that thing. This is absolutely undeniable. Whether we like it or not has no bearing on it. So when you're in the quantity half, you make up, I don't know much about pottery, so I may be a little wrong here, but you make a bowl and you're like, oh, I like what I did on the lip of that. So let me try that on this mug that I'm making. Oh, but on there I screwed up on the handle. Let me try that on this vase. And you end up making 50, 60 pieces of pottery. You're going to learn more than if you only make one. And the other thing I want to say here, because I think this is important, because I know the creative types, they come in and they watch these shows online and they find it inspiring or they find it entertaining or whatever it is. The other thing is writer's block. I want people to understand something very clearly. There is no such thing as writer's block. There's no such thing as creative block. It does not exist. It's not real. The first instance that we have seen of someone writing about writer's block was Percy Bysshe Shelley, the husband of Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley was famously the author of the original Frankenstein novel. So she was clearly much more creative than her husband. And basically, there was a poem that Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote, basically, I would say, whining about the fact that he wasn't a very good poet. Is kind of the way I interpret it. And as the amazing Seth Godin very adroitly points out, you never hear of anyone getting plumber's block. You don't call a plumber up, they come in, I'm not going to be able to fix your U-bend today because the plumbing muse just isn't flowing through me. No, plumbers, they get out their pipe wrench and they do their plumbing stuff, and then your drain works again. No one ever gets plumber's block. And so it's the same. No one ever gets walker's block. Oh, you know what? I was going to go up in the kitchen, but just not feeling it. Someone's going to stand here for an hour or so. No. So don't allow yourself to let your brain work on it, because people are afraid they're not going to do their best work. But think about that pottery class. Do your worst work. Hey, maybe you're a filmmaker, right? And you're afraid you're gonna make the worst movie of all time. Well, okay, that means you're gonna have to make a movie worse than Plan 9 from Outer Space. And Plan 9 from Outer Space is such a bad film, it's a cult classic. People, it's been like 60 years or something since that film has been made, and people are still going to see it because it's so bad. So make your piece of work so bad that it's going to become a cult classic. Make it bad and do it well. Make the worst piece of music you can. Write the worst poem you possibly can. Maybe, there have been times, I was just composing the other day, and I had some drums laid out. I'm writing putting my notes into my sheet music. And I wrote, 8, 10 measures or something, and it was just complete garbage. And so I deleted it. And then I wrote something else. I deleted that. And then I wrote something else. And I deleted that. Because maybe you need to write, 8 pieces or 80 pieces before you write a piece that you like. Cool. Well, if you don't write the 8 pieces or the 80 pieces, you're not going to get to the one you do like. So you just got to keep doing it. That is the key. And I'm gonna say something else here. Sarita V does not, in fact, have clean the house block. She just has me, and I always clean the house before she gets to it. So, bonus for her, I'm a clean guy. Our bed is made right now because I got up, I made the bed. We have a clean kitchen. Well, the kitchen, we still got some stuff from the cookies I made last night, but I also make cookies, so that makes up for it. But we got a pretty clean house here, and I think that if I wasn't around, Sarah would clean a lot more, but she doesn't need to, so. Anyway, that's my soapbox speech about creativity. One of my students, I was recently gave that basic speech to, and she's like, you need to make a YouTube video about this. And I have been seriously considering more and more lately making some YouTube content of that nature. Let me know if you guys think you would like to hear me yak about this stuff in some regular videos. I would be interested in your opinions there. Excuse me. I'll just hydrate some more here. All right. This song is based around a bunch of triplets. It's just got this kind of triplet feel. That's all I really got to say about this. Let's do it. This song is called Failure to Reconcile. thing that's great about doing 2 albums these days on each of my shows is that we often get set up for this. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the second G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. Yes. This song is called An Elegant Expression of Hatred. And that was that. I really like the way that by the time I get done playing a song on here, I just completely forget what it's called. I have no idea what song that was. I know it was in G sharp minor. That's all I really remember about it. But you know what? Doesn't matter. So we're just going to keep moving on along, doing what we do, hanging by a thread, which is what this next song's called. Thank you for the compliments, every people. I do appreciate it. And I like that one too. That one, it's kind of nice to kind of sink into that. The slower pieces are really nice that way. That you just kind of, from my perspective, of course, going to be very different than from a listener's perspective, but just kind of sink in there and start playing with this guy. I was just talking to my buddy Steven the other day, a fellow musician, very sharp guy, and always fun to talk to about music. And we were talking about our, respective playing styles and things, and one of the things he pointed out was when he comes on and watches these shows, which he's in occasionally, he likes watching how I get myself out of a corner. So in there, I might be playing something, and I'll hit a note that's not in the original key. I'm like, okay, well, now what's this going to do? And that's part of an interesting part of the puzzle, particularly on those slower pieces. Like, okay, now, because I'm playing these notes for longer, they can kind of stand out more. So now how am I going to, okay, I accidentally hit a sharp 4 there. What am I going to do with that? Well, let's consider that a flatted 5. Then what's going to happen? It's interesting. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone else. It's fun though. That's what I'm saying. I agree. I like that song. It's my long-winded way of saying that. Okay. What we got? I think we've got. How many songs we got on this album? 8, 9, 10, we got 11 on this album. Okay, so we're moving in on song number 8. Cool. So we got a bit of time yet. That is absolutely a very accurate addressing of the Hendrix method. Bend it till it's right. That is. Hendrix had a weird style, but it worked so well for what he did. And part of that is because his hands were freaking huge. He was known for having very large hands. And that's something that I don't hear addressed when I hear people talking about how to play guitar. They don't talk about how important the size and shape of your hands is compared to the size and shape of your guitar. There are different lengths of guitar necks. There are, the backs of necks can be shaped differently. And so, if you want to play like Hendrix, if you don't have great big huge hands and playing a backward Fender Stratocaster, it's going to be kind of tough to comp what Hendrix did. He had that part of that unique style was just his physiology. I've got very small hands, so I play appropriately to that. So like a lot of people say that I should do thumb over style. Well, I've got small hands. Thumb over style works great. Hendrix and Ray Vaughan were both thumb over people. They both had big hands. That works great for people with large hands. And that's something I think a lot of people miss. And so particularly with Hendrix, he had a unique bending style where normally we'll kind of bend with this kind of hinge kind of thing. He had a different bending style. And that's part of what lent to his very unique outlook of how to approach his music. And of course, it worked great for him. The guy was excellent at it. And they say that Jimi Hendrix drowned in a pool of his own vomit. You know how much you got to vomit to fill up a pool? This next song is called I Had a Thought. Deirdre says she needs a laugh react option on these comments. Yeah, there are ways. I've tried to mess around with getting different emotes and stuff. I think part of the difficulty is that I use so many different channels, and the emotes, they don't tend to work out all that great, unfortunately. So yeah, that would be nice. I know on Twitch, if I were to take the affiliate program, I would get like 5 custom emotes, but I'd also have to run ads and stuff, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, we'll do what we can with it. Do what we can. Surprising how popular emojis are. I'm not an emoji person myself, so I'm always surprised at how much that works out. We're going to slow it down a little again here. I was about to say this song is called Neck Pickup, but that's not true, because that is a note for me to use my neck pickup. The song is called That Depends on You. little reverb on this guitar today. Sounds kind of good. All right. Where am I? Am I at the last song? Wow. I didn't even realize we'd gotten that far through the album. We'll get you guys out of here a little bit early today. So this last song I want to talk about for a moment. This one is inspired by a band called Camelot. If you are not familiar with the band Camelot, change that about yourself, because Camelot is freaking awesome. They are a power metal band and just great material. Thomas Youngblood is the guitar player, the founder. I think he does most of the writing for it. And yeah, just such great material. I've been a fan for years. And this isn't any, it's not like a tribute or anything, but just kind of, I was kind of in a Camelot kind of a mode when I was putting this together. So I wrote some kind of Camelot-esque, Camelot-ish kind of stuff. I'm very happy with the way this one came out. What key are we in? C minor. Which is in D minor. D minor, C minor. Okay. Anyway, last song of the show for the afternoon show, and I will be back again, of course, at 8 o'clock Pacific time zone. As always, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you for being here. This is the last song of this show, and I will see you on the other side. All right. That is it for the afternoon show. I will be back at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time zone. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Go to themadpoet.net where you can check out all of my music. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for smelling my show. Deirdre, thanks for the compliment. Everyone, thanks to the chatters, to the tippers. I don't think I had any new followers on this show, but if I missed any, thank you very much. And I will be back this evening. Hopefully you will as well.